In this video, I do a quick review of the ThiEye 4K action camera that can do 30 frames per second at 4K and won't break your budget. Coming up. Hey, what's up guys? Sean here with ThiEYE TV, helping you go further, faster in media. And on this channel, we do tech gear reviews, audio, and even action camera videos just like this one. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. And hey, at any point during this video, you can check out links to all the things we talk about, the camera, as well as some of the specs, all of that stuff listed out in the YouTube description. Let's jump into the video. So ThiEYE sent me this camera a while back and I've had a lot of fun testing it out. This is kind of one of those cameras that's in the budget category of action cameras. In fact, you can pick this up on GearBest for $116 US last time I checked. And you can check current prices with the links in the description. On Amazon, it comes in at $200, but obviously that cheaper price is probably the one you'd want to grab. And so for under $120, you have an action camera with a Sony sensor, and it's the same sensor as not only Sony cameras, but a lot of the budget action cameras that you'll see out. And then you have a fantastic processor in there, and it has great performance. And so you have 4K at 30 frames a second, 2.5K at 60 frames, 120 frames per second at 1080p. And if you did go down to 720, you could do 240 frames per second. Now, when we throw out all those numbers, if you're new to that, typically what you're gonna use those higher frame rates for are, number one, smooth footage. Some vloggers are actually shooting their vlogs at 60 frames per second because they kind of like the feel. It gives it quicker motion. The less frames per second, there's more motion blur. So film is 24 frames. A lot of people kind of like that film look, whereas reality TV typically has kind of like a higher frame rate look. And then if you go to those higher frame rates, the reason you'd want that is for slow motion. And so 120 frames could give you some cool slow motion shots at 1080p. And so that's a great feature. And it says that it works with 64 gigabyte micro SD cards. I have a 120 in there and it worked great. One thing to note too, that if you're shooting 4K footage at the highest frame rates, you want to make sure you have a good SD card that has the proper speed on it as well. As far as the build goes, love the build, love all the design elements. Now you'll probably notice it's a little gnarly on the back here. It does have a screen and it is kind of like glass, and I did drop it. And so that's 100% full disclosure, my fault. It comes with this waterproof case as well as dustproof, shatterproof case. It wasn't in that, right? So I just was being dumb and I dropped it from about 8 feet onto like concrete. And luckily, it actually turned out totally fine. I just put a piece of tape on there, but that's why it's busted up. But anyways, you do get the screen on there, which again, is amazing. So you get this budget action camera, shoots cool footage, good frame rates, and you can actually see what you're doing. A lot of action cameras don't have the screen so that you can adjust the features. And then you also got the tripod screw so that you can attach it to a tripod or a selfie stick, nice and easy. HDMI out if you want to preview your content. Micro USB input there to charge it or to transfer the files over a micro USB to your computer. And so as far as the specs and the build quality, pretty amazing. Now, it comes with 2 batteries, which is nice. It says it's rated for 80 minutes recording at 4K. I never really did a test that extensively, but I did notice that I changed the battery about once a day, and I used it with some time lapses, and I was always shooting pretty much in 4K 30 frames. And so that seems about right. So pretty good battery life, all things considered. But ultimately, the big question when it comes to these cameras is, what does the footage look like? How does it perform? And so you be the judge. First of all, traveled from here to Las Vegas, and so I was hopping on a plane. Here we go. This is the first scene shot on ThiEYE T5e. Shooting at the airport, and then got to LA and was connecting up with Benji, who's actually co-founder of Video Influencers, another project that we do. And we were working on a project called Dancember, which is a fundraiser. And we were shooting some footage in the hotel room. We went to the LA YouTube space and shot some footage and had a chance to look at some of the low light performance. And as you can see, you know, in low light, the footage doesn't look very good. But, you know, one thing to note, and sometimes people criticize action cameras or it's cameras with smaller sensors for not having very good low light performance. And that's kind of like criticizing a zebra for having stripes, right? Like, it's kind of their nature. You never should expect good low light performance out of a camera at this price range that also has such a small sensor. And so typically your best bet with cameras is either to have a lot of lighting at night, to actually bring your own light or whatever, but also that's why some of the best footage comes out of these cameras is in sun or in daylight. Just something to note. And then I also tested out the waterproof housing. So we're at the hotel, just kind of messing around by the pool, and went ahead and threw it in to this waterproof housing case that it comes with. Worked great, and love the footage underwater. All the stuff that you've been seeing is in 4K at 30 frames per second, but we edited this video at 1080p, so it's shrunk down. But that is some of what the 4K footage, kind of looks like. Obviously, it's down processed to 1080p. And then one of my favorite features is actually the time-lapse mode. And so built-in camera, you could set it to have a time-lapse that's 5 seconds long or 10 seconds long. And so you just select how long you want the time-lapse footage to be, set the camera up, let it do its thing, and then it just shoots the time lapse, and it's already made into a time lapse in camera. And so that is super, super cool. It also has an app that you can download, and it has a Wi-Fi setting. I haven't really tested that out, but from other videos I've watched and other people's reviews and whatnot, it sounds like that's awesome as well. I've tested that out with other action cameras. One thing that was cool was because of the screen, that was usually the missing piece, right? And that's why a lot of times I would lean on an app to see what the shot composition is, to get into the settings in an easier way. But I found that all of that is really easy to do just on camera because you have the screen on there, which is super great. You've got photo mode, didn't take too many photos, but it could take photos. You've got all those video modes, and then you've got your typical menu screen where you can select all different aspects. Now, one huge thing to note is that when I first got the camera, you have to do the firmware update. And the reason why was when I first got the camera, by default, it had the date, time, and year on the images and on the photos. And you could turn that off really easily in the menu, but if you turn the power off on the camera and you turn it back on, all the settings would be reset. So if you turn off the beep noise, I didn't want it to beep every time I press the button. It would work until you turn the power off, and then the beep came back, and then those numbers came back, which, and even on some of our B-roll example, you'll see that in the lower right-hand corner. Again, not a big deal, but it was so frustrating that you couldn't turn that off. They corrected that 100% with the firmware update, so all you gotta do, and we'll link to it in the description if you pick one of these up, is just grab the firmware update, you put it on a micro SD card, they walk you through the steps, it updates really easy, and then it's good to go. So it's actually now, that was frustrating at first, but now it's actually become kind of one of my favorite action cameras, especially for all the different frame rates you get for the price point. Ridiculous, right? Again, $120 or less US, and to have all that is pretty amazing. And I don't have everything that comes in the box here, but you do get the camera, you get the waterproof housing, 2 batteries, you get a rotating buckle, flat adhesive mount, a couple other adhesive stickers, you get the micro USB cable so you can charge it or transfer stuff, a cleaning cloth, and a quick start guide. And so all of that stuff is included in the box, which I have misplaced somewhere. And so as far as my final thoughts, I think that for the price, this is a super solid action camera. Love the screen, love the features. I totally have the hang of it. Love that with the firmware update, took away all the issues that I had. And so it works great. And to be able to shoot 4K footage at 30 frames a second is super cool. And I'm actually excited, gonna be taking this on a snowboard trip here pretty coming up. And so all in all, definitely check out the ThiEYE if you're looking for high performance in an action camera for a budget price. Question of the day. What is your favorite thing to use action cameras for? Do you like to do outdoor stuff, just vlogging, travel, or something entirely different? Let me know in the comment section. So thanks so much for checking out this video. Definitely subscribe for more videos just like this. And if you haven't downloaded the ThinkMedia TV Video Gear Buyer's Guide, it actually goes through all the equipment that I use and my best recommendations for every budget when it comes to cameras, lighting, tripods, all that kind of stuff. So you can grab that for free. We'll link it up in the YouTube description as well as on the YouTube card. Until next time, ThinkMedia TV is helping you go further, faster in media. Keep crushing it, and we will talk soon.